Hello, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Whoever is watching, wherever you are, and thank you for joining. And today, of course, Sunday morning for in Canada, and this is a regular show. Open up. I just want to quickly bring our guest and then say hi to them, and then we will go to the. I will give you a brief introduction about the Voice of Men 360 and Open Up and IMD, and then we will go to the program. Let's welcome our good friend Benjamin. Hello, Benjamin. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Hi, everyone.
Nice, nice. Let me give some details about that Voice of Men and Open Up and IMD, and then we'll go. So the Voice of Men actually it is a not-for-profit organization. It is based in Toronto, Canada, and also it is part of IMD International Men's Day. International Men's Day. Some of you guys may heard or may not. So about 21st year. This is 2020 is the 21st year we have so far 90 countries joined together and then taking initiatives around the world on a regular basis. So we are focusing on six pillars. Let me go through the six pillars so you have a better understanding of it. So the number one, to promote positive male role models, not just movie stars and sportsmen, but everyday working classmen who are living decent, honest lives. Second, to celebrate men's positive contributions to society, community, family, marriage, childcare, and environment. Number third, to focus on the men's health and well-being, social, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Number four, to highlight discrimination against men in areas of social services, social attitudes, expectations, and law. Number five, to improve gender relations and promote gender equality. Number six, to create a safer, better world where people can be safe and grow to reach their full potential. These are the six pillars we are working on, we are focusing on. So you can see it's basically overall the well-being of boys and men's. What is it? Open up. Open up is a basically a platform, live talk show. We can, I mean, an individual can come and share their life experience, challenges, overcome any struggles they went through. So by sharing the life experience, they can somebody else, whoever is listening on the other side, whoever is watching, so they can change their mindset, they can change their thinking pattern, at least just giving hope. So you know what, end of the day I can change the situation. That's a bottom line here, the motive behind this open up. Open up is a where there's no limitation with the age, gender, or nationality. Any people, anyone, any walk of life can join and share your life stories. So of course, every week we bring a guest and share their personal stories, their experience, and whatever they are their perspectives about boys and men's. Today we have an awesome individual. His name is Benjamin. Let's welcome Benjamin and let's start. Let's hear your introduction and then we will go from there. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much for this great opportunity, Sivam. I really appreciate the fact that you've given me the opportunity to also bring up my voice. Everyone has got a voice, and our voices have a way of making an impact in the lives of people. So I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm hoping that we'll have a wonderful discussion whilst I share my life journey with the good people all over the world. Hello. Hello, Sivam. Hello. So I work
Yeah.
as a John Maxwell certified coach. Yeah, I am a John Maxwell certified coach. I provide training in leadership. I'm very passionate about youth development based on my upbringing and background and challenges that I've gone through. I feel that I owe the youth of the world a duty to help them also overcome their challenges and then grow to their unique potential. So thank you very much for this great opportunity to share my life journey.
I know you are working with. I just want to take you back about when you are 5, 10, 15 years old. What was the influence or inspiration? Nowadays I see uh, you are working, you are coaching, you're training, and you're doing a lot of things in terms of personal developments. What was your inspiration? Tell me more about your inspiration or influence those early
Okay,
days.
so yeah, thank you. I had a very difficult background growing up as a young person, struggling to pay my fees, inability to afford 3 square meals in a day, lost count of the number of times that I had to walk several miles to school and back home on an empty stomach, all the difficulties and challenges that came my way. And there were people who concluded that I would never be able to make it in life. And I told myself that no matter what, I would succeed. So I struggled, took advantage of all the opportunities that came my way. And eventually I find myself growing towards my unique potential. So my inspiration and what is influencing me to do what I'm doing now is the fact that I realize that a lot of people go through the difficult situations that I found myself in. And in most cases, they don't even have anybody to help them out. They don't have anybody to talk to them, to help them grow out of whatever difficult challenges they are going through. So I'm inspired by that to help them, talk to them, help them grow, move towards their dreams so they can be the person that God meant them to be. So that is what inspires me to do what I do, just to add value to people. It doesn't matter whether I'm paid for what I'm doing or not. All I care about is adding value. So as long as I'm adding value, I feel fulfilled.
That's great. It's a truly great to hear. No, not everybody look at that way. Let's talk about your father and son relationship. When you are growing at, let's say, younger boy, and when you are becoming a young man, and when you become a father, when you enter into family, and when you become a father. So these are the stages. And then how did you see your father, and then how do you see now?
Okay, thank you. I would say that at the moment, my dad is no more. He died some 30 years ago. But then growing up
Sorry
as
to
a
hear that.
young person, I didn't have the kind of fellowship that I wanted from a father. I didn't have that warmth fellowship. It was this kind of fear
Hmm.
that was instilled in me. So I became very timid. It was either one accusation or the other. So consistently, I was being accused of things that I hadn't done, and that affected my psychological development and growth. I became so timid, I couldn't mingle with people. And if somebody told me years ago that one day I would stand before people and speak to them on personal development or leadership or whatever, I would tell the person is a liar. But I realized that if I was going to be the kind of person that I was meant to be, I wasn't going to allow timidity, lack of confidence in myself to affect me. So I had to grow out of that situation, develop myself, read a lot of books just to psych myself up so I could be better. So I took a decision that, yes, I didn't have the kind of fellowship that I needed from my dad, but am I going to transfer that same thing to my kids? I said, no. I would be better. I would give my kids the opportunity to grow. And I spend quality time teaching them values, teaching them confidence, and so many other things. So, whatever opportunities that I didn't get from my dad, I'm doing my best to give that to my kids so they can be better people in society. But that is not to say that I bear my dad any grudge. I do not. I look back, and even though I didn't enjoy the kind of fellowship that I wanted, it was good for me because it helped me to grow. It helped me, it got me out of my comfort zone. And I realized that if I had gotten the kind of attention or whatever I needed, maybe I would have stayed at the average level. But I'm not at the average level. I'm pressing on and pressing on and pressing on and pressing on until I die.
Right, exactly. It's a very interesting to hear. But I just want to ask you one thing on the same question though. Let's say always somehow somewhere some people it will be replaced by do you have any people when you think when you go back and think, okay, you know what, it was replaced by this person, uncle, or somebody, any mentor or any people, it can be teacher, it can be somebody. But at least, I mean, of course, the books they help you, but if you can think some people, any in point of time, somehow, they'll, it will be replaced by somebody. So can you think of anybody?
The line dropped. If I understood you correctly, you're asking about people who have come into my life and have been a blessing to me. Is that the question?
Well, what I was saying is, you were saying you were missing the fellowship, or like the fatherhood that you didn't have it. Um, but that point, those days, those moments, somebody else, replaced. So, can you think anybody came into your life, or somehow?
Yeah. So I would say my mom, she's been very wonderful. She played a very key role in my growth, in my educational development, spiritual development, physical development, everything. So I would mention my mom, that I would also mention my sisters. They were very, very supportive, both from a financial perspective and then from the spiritual perspective and so on and so forth. So my mom, my sisters, and then when I became or when I was in my teens, some of my lecturers too or teachers were available to help.
Right. Um, so let's talk about your boyhood and growing up a young man, like when you going to school, and when you were at the college or university or any other second level of education. As a boy, what are the challenges you were going through? Can you remember some of the challenges from the boy side? Any major breakthrough or anything? Just even simple thing, how did you feel, or how have you come across anything?
Yeah, so growing up, especially in the basic school and then the high school, I experienced bullying from friends. So already, like I indicated, I was timid. I couldn't mingle with people. So when the bullying started, it affected me greatly.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue of having to struggle to pay my school fees a couple of times, I had to be
Right.
sacked from school. The inability to afford 3 square meals in the day, walking to school and back on an empty stomach. All these were some of the challenges that came my way as a young person in school and growing up.
I know that this is it's a the reason why I always ask a couple of these questions is to go back and then think about those moments and then bring back, analyze it. It's a kind of a healing too, because when you go back, it's an everything happening for a reason. Big time I believe on that. So that's why I just want to reconnect with those moments and then understand, okay, you know what, nothing is missing or nothing is happening for nothing wasted, so that's one of the reason I wanted to ask those questions. So let's talk about about our boys and men's, because you are working with them, you are helping them. So let's talk about our youth in nowadays. What are the challenges you see in the years when you work with them? Like, are they really open to or willing to talk about their personal issues? Like as you know, like it doesn't matter any culture, any religion, or any particular I mean any kind of nationality or ethnic group. We all have a problem with we don't really open we don't have an open discussion with anybody about our personal issues. So let's talk about that. How do you feel, how from your personal point of view, and also from the people whoever you work with them?
Okay. So I deal with a lot of youth. I engage a lot with them because of the passion that I have for youth development. And what I've observed is that they are not willing to discuss their issues. And probably because of trust issues, because they don't know whether the person they are talking to is somebody they can trust. So once the trust issue is dealt with, they're able to open up. And a lot of them open up to me because they find me to be trustworthy. So if the youth are unable to discuss their problems, probably it's because they don't have trust in the person that is trying to help them or the person that they are talking to. I've also discovered that most of these youth are influenced by bad friends and they just want to, because of this youthful exuberance, they want to go along with people who are in the wrong direction of their lives and they don't have anybody to talk to them.
Hmm.
Some, I get a chance to talk to them, they listen. Others too are like, hey, when you were a youth, you enjoy life. So let me also enjoy
Yeah.
my life. I keep telling them that, yes, I enjoy life, but you may not get the opportunity that I got. You, in fact, have a better opportunity to turn things around. So why don't you take advantage of that opportunity and make your life better? So those are some of the challenges that one is confronted with in engaging with the youth. They don't want to voice out their feelings, probably because they have trust issues. But once the trust is established, they're able to open up and discuss their issues.
Benjamin, I want to ask you one question here before we go to the next one. When you say trust, I heard a number of times with from other people to trust. Of course, it doesn't matter. The trust is a common factor with with any man or woman or boys or girls. But other than that, more than that, when we look at from our side point of view, like let's say from boys or gents or men's point of view, why for take your personal life, when you were going through those struggles in the younger age, the bullying or anything, have you really had a chance to open up and then talk to anybody, or were you are hiding, or you don't want to talk to any people, or uh, you don't know? I don't think it's not only trust but something else. It's because we never taught to have an open conversation though. So share your experience if you can, if you like to.
Okay. So John Maxwell always said,
Benya?
question number one. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was saying that John Maxwell would always say that people would ask three questions before they follow you. Question number one, do you you? So even though at the time I was young, I didn't know these questions. They played out in my life. So whatever challenges or difficult situations that I was going through, I was looking out for someone who could help.
Yeah,
And I
your
couldn't
voice is
think of any other
cutting off,
person.
Benjamin.
Okay. So whatever challenges I was going through, I was asking myself who could help me. And I couldn't think of any other person than my bigger sister, who is currently in the United States.
Okay.
I could share my difficult situations with her, and she was a person of faith. So she would encourage me, read the Bible with me, share her challenges with me as well. So that encouraged me. And I could tell myself, if my sister could make it, then I can also make it. So I can single out that particular sister of mine who I could easily reach out to for help.
Yeah, like I said, somehow there's a people, always replaced, or you know the time always give some opportunity to go back and then talk about it. So let's talk about the middle age, as we are in the middle, or family man. So let's talk about those who has struggles. What kind of struggles you see mainly in those people, though, especially from your experience and training, things like that.
If I heard you correctly, you're asking what kind of experience or what kind of struggles they go through.
Yeah, like even the conflict. I mean, the mental challenge, because nowadays you can see there's so many people they go through, especially between the age 35 to 50, 55. The middle age people, they always struggle with so many pressures. It can be social pressure or any kind of pressure. But let's talk about what are their challenges actually, because sometimes we think only one or two challenges, but they go through many challenges. So from your understanding, from your experience, let's talk about those challenges though.
Okay. So one of the challenges that I've observed has to do with joblessness. They don't have a job to be able to make ends meet, and that kind of depresses them, frustrates them, and then stresses them out. So the issue of joblessness, and then the issue of they not having anybody to talk to when they have such challenges. So for those people, I recommend coaching and mentorship. And I personally get involved in trying to coach and then mentor them and then help them steer their lives. A couple of other challenges like peer pressure.
Mm.
So because other young men, young boys are doing it, they feel they should also get involved and do same, forgetting that it is hurting them. Sometimes they don't even know it's hurting them. So somebody would have to step in to help
Right.
them understand that, hey, what you're doing is not going to help you.
Mm.
So on my side, I take it upon myself
Mm.
to teach them values.
Right.
And I even do that with my kids.
Mm.
They are 5 and then 8 years, but I
Yeah.
teach them values,
Yeah.
leadership values. I talk to them about responsibility. I talk to them about character. I talk to them about forgiveness. I talk to them about all the values that you can think about.
Mhm.
And that is helping them to shape their thinking. So
Right.
when
Exactly.
you ask them right now, what do you want to do in life? The immediate answer that will come up will be, I want to add value to people. So if at that tender age, they are thinking about adding value to people,
Mm.
they're going to grow up with that kind of mindset
Right.
and
Yeah.
imagine the kind of impact they would make in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's nice to hear. Let's talk about your process, the training or coaching process. How do you help them when people signing up or when they are actually reaching you? You know what? I want to come to your workshop or training. Of course, they have some kind of mental challenges and some other things, family pressure or anything, even studies. They cannot focus on that. How do you help them? Let's talk about those process. That how do you help them, please?
Okay. So in my training, I go beyond just standing before you and then sharing information with you.
Hmm.
I'm interested in your personal development, your personal growth. I want to see results in your life. So beyond standing face to face with you and sharing information, I want to get into your personal life. I want to come alongside you. Let's take the journey together. What are your life experiences? How can I help you?
Hmm. Right.
So that is the kind of bond that I establish with all the people that go through my training. And I don't have a problem or difficulty expressing my own vulnerability. So that expression of my own vulnerability helps me to grow, helps me to help them better. And they see that whatever challenges they are going through, I've been there before
Right. Right.
and
Right.
could help them.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So that's the way you can relate to them, and then they can relate to you. It's very powerful too. So do you have? I just want to ask you one question. The last question, I would say. Do you have any experience? It can be personal or anything you heard or you come across. Even your clients or your um, students, any extreme cases, and then before they went through so much pain or so much problems, but you help them out, and then now their life is completely changed in a different or I would say positive direction. So do you have any stories to share with us, please?
Okay. So in the month of July, I decided to organize a free mastermind session on John Maxwell's 15 invaluable laws of growth. And there's this guy who participated in the mastermind session. He had been out of job and been home for quite a couple of months. He was actually a school dropout, so he had given up hope, thinking that there was nothing he could
Mm.
accomplish. But then going through the 15 laws, we spoke about the law of intentionality. If you want to grow, you must be intentional. You need to be aware of yourself. If you want to grow, you have to look at the value that you want to add to yourself. You must see value in yourself before you can add value to yourself. So, from his own testimony, he said those 15 laws helped him discover himself, discover his talent and what he could do. So he realized that even though he was a school dropout, he could learn something on information technology. And he took up the challenge. And as I speak with you, he's working on a project with an Indian company and he's doing that remotely. And
Wow.
he's able to now develop a website and he's even charging money for that. I spoke with him yesterday and he got his first client, and the client is saying there's another business that he wants to give to him in the UK, like remotely, building
Right.
up a website. So
Right.
that 15 law session helped him overcome his challenge.
It's quite interesting, and then glad to hear that. Happy to thank you for sharing. What you see actually, it's I mean, I especially on the personal development, I see the only thing is they have the difficulties, or most of the men, or I would say like women too, but mainly boys and men, they have. The challenges with finding about their self, and finding understanding about their own talents, or the potential they have. It's just a lack of knowledge, or lack of anything we can name it, but I think that's a major problem or crisis, I would say that. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I strongly believe that it is mostly because of the person who is relaying the information to them. You cannot give what you don't have. So if I come to you and I'm talking to you about personal development and I'm talking to you about your communication skills and other things, talking to you about character, but I do not have character, my communication skills is bad and all that, I cannot transfer what I don't have to you.
Right.
So coaches, mentors, speakers, trainers should leave the message they are putting across, and people will begin to buy into those messages. So the youth, the young men should buy into the person before they buy into their message. Once that is dealt with, they'll begin to appreciate the importance of personal development.
Absolutely, absolutely. I 100% agree. You put it very nice way. Yes, that's even for myself, the personal development, even the communication skills, and when you go beyond your limitations, or if you when your inner calling is saying, you have to do this, or do something else. It's that's where you had to break the barrier, and then you had to go beyond that. Otherwise, it's going to you kind of stay within a circle, and then you bang a head against the wall, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then then your life doesn't go anywhere. You know, I really appreciate that you shared a couple of his stories, and of course your personal stories too. Is there anything you want to add before we go off?
So what I want to tell the youth, the young men, young boys out there is that there's nothing that they cannot accomplish if they set their minds to it. Everything begins in the mind. Whatever life, future they want to have, it's all in the mind. So they need to have that mental strength and tenacity to be able to accomplish whatever they have before them. They need to be purposeful, deliberate in their action. And some of us are around to support. I am passionate about youth development. I organize free youth sessions for the youth, teaching them values. So I'm around. You need support, feel free to get in touch. You can get in touch with what's the name? I've forgotten the name, your name. You can
It's
get
okay.
in touch with him.
Siva, it's okay. We're going to
Sivam,
actually
yes. So you can get
add
in touch with him.
yeah, we're going to add on the information like when we finish. You can add more information on the comment. I'm also going to add so they can
Okay.
get touch with you. So this way, they it doesn't matter. At least even if you cannot attend physically or even virtually, but it's still you can call and then have a quick chat or sometimes you don't have the clear path or it's very hard to take a clear direction, but when you talk to people like him Benjamin, they can give you, they can help you in a to take a positive or a clear direction. So don't wait for you guys the last minute, because the
Yeah.
end of the day. Also, I just want to before we finish it off, I want to talk about one thing here: the suicidal rates. When you look at the ratio, it's around the globe. It's over 80%. It's very very sad. End of the day, the men is taking their own life. So it doesn't matter either youth or adults, but the ratio is so high, and we are on the hook. So anything is possible, like Benjamin said. Have you come across, or what do you think about what kind of message you have about this alarming or shocking that fact that over 80% men, or the ratio of suicidal men suicidal, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, it's rather unfortunate. And I strongly believe that if there was ever a time that people needed coaches and mentors, this is the time. So we all need to step up, show up, and then help all those people who may be going through psychological difficulties or challenges. If we don't step out and help them, then we'd have failed in our responsibility.
Absolutely, yeah. I completely agree. See, whoever is listening or watching this, you just heard that he can help. Even having a small, simple phone conversation will make a lot better. End of the day. So give you a positive direction or positive decision to take it. So please share this information with your friends or whoever is in the middle of any kind of life situation. So right, you never know, because you, by sharing that just a, telephone number or this information, that person going through life situation or anything, we don't know, they don't open, but people like him, Benjamin, they can have a talk, and then they can get a clear direction though. All right. Thanks a lot, Benjamin, for joining and sharing your life story. I'm happy to have you, and thank you. Really appreciate that. And I also want to add, any people whoever is willing to share your life's journey, please reach out us. Voice of Men 360. We always have it. I mean, every Sundays we have it from 10 to 10:30 Eastern time, which is a Canadian time here. But also I have it on Saturdays from 8:30 to 9 p.m. So just half an hour, by sharing your life journey, struggles, challenges, or any life situations, somebody else can change their thinking pattern, make some positive impact. That's the whole point of this episode, or this live show. And also I do it in Tamil too, on Wednesdays from 7:30 to 8 o'clock. All right. Thanks a lot, and please continue as a support. And also we have on YouTube and Facebook. So please subscribe our channel, Voice of Men 360. Thanks a lot, Benjamin. Let's make it happen. All right. Take care. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for having me. Thank you. Bye.